Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, a place where dreams take flight, with authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives and meaningful conversations, where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV. Download our app, USA Global TV. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. Thanks to our founder and executive producer, Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Music score by Yeffy Tang from Cloud Road Music. Voiceover artist Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. USA Global TV and Radio, your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio. Happy 2025. I'm Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck, and I've created a show called Creating a World of Possibilities. On this show, we will be interviewing people who are truly making a difference to our society, to our community, to the world in general, coexistence, sustainability. So if you're one of those people, we'd love to hear from you. So before I show you how you can go ahead and book in your session, I just want to mention that this year, like last year, here at USA Global TV and Radio, we are truly going to focus on listening at an elevated level. And if you think about all the strife there is in the world and the arguments and everything that's going on, a lot of it at the core, the foundation, is that we're not truly listening to one another. We potentially could be judging the other person. We could be evaluating their thoughts and their comments based on what we think and how we were brought up or the values that we have. So here at USA Global TV and Radio, we truly believe that everyone has a right to be heard, and we will do our utmost, our best to be listening at an elevated level without judgment, without problem solving, without interrupting, and without trying to steal the stage by saying that our story is better. I'm the author of this book, Mastering the Power of Elevated Listening. And this book is filled with case studies as well as testimonials and 2 quizzes to test your ability to see how well you truly are listening. And we love to have you join our team of elevated listeners here at USA Global TV and Radio. I also have a series of children's books, and the books are The Amazing Adventures of Lady Ella, the Listening Mentor. This happens to be the second book in the series because I don't have any of the first left, but there are 8 different books, and they all feature Lady Ella. And Lady Ella is truly amazing in that she's able to travel all over the world and even into the solar system last year, helping animals and creatures really learn how to listen at an elevated level. So let's get started. If you feel that you have a story to share about how what you're doing is helping to bring positivity to this world, we'd love to hear from you. So I'm going to show you how you can go ahead and register. You can go to our website. I'm going to share my screen, and you can go to usaglobaltvandradio.com or usaglobaltv.com or drjacquelinekerbeck.com. They all take you here. Our reunion show is coming up on the 12th, which is next Sunday. This is a great opportunity for you to get your 15 minutes of fame, where you have literally the floor, the stage, the screen for 15 minutes to talk to people about what it is that you do, the value that you can bring to them. So you come here to this website and you go across the top. You can learn about our shows. You can learn about how you can join us on our team, or you can join us as someone who's already a content creator and you want us to distribute your content. And then you can come here, which is book your session. Once you come to book your session, there's a lot of important information here, but we do enable you to have 3 free interviews with us in a year. And the reason why we keep it to 3 for free is so that more people have an opportunity to book in for different shows. After that, you can pay for additional interviews. So we have testimonials. Here's if you are being interviewed the 4th, 5th, 6th, et cetera time. We also have partners Zizzle TV as well as E360 TV, and we can distribute your content there as well. More about our shows, and then you can come down here. So you come down here, you find the show that you're interested. Most of the shows are free. I am hosting a master class in London, and that will be for a week. And that's really a deep dive into all the elements about listening in an elevated level. And I just want to stop there for a moment. This is actually a course that I teach fairly regularly. And the feedback that I get from people when they come to the course in person is because they have relationship issues in their life. There's strife in a relationship, whether it's the marriage, whether it's with the children, whether it's at work. And they typically come in thinking that it's all the other person's fault and what can they do to fix it. And what I found and what the feedback has been is they have an aha moment where they realize that they're part of the issue as well, because they have already predetermined in their mind how they feel about what the person's doing, what they think the person should be doing, and how the other person should be acting. And again, those last statements include the word should. So I get them to have the realization that their role is also contributing to why the relationship is not working. So unless you're someone that truly is doing elevated listening for a living, maybe you're a therapist, maybe you're a teacher, most of us can use some improvement when it comes to listening. I'm always working on my skills. And one of them, which I'll just share quickly, and then we'll go back to the website, is losing that emotion that comes up for us when somebody says something that hurts our feelings or it's not going our way. And I'll give a quick example. So I recently moved states, and where I'm living, I have no heat. There's no heat in this room, which is why I'm wearing this winter jacket and my hands are frozen. So there's no heat here or in my bedroom or the bathrooms. And I have taken every possible step that I can as a lady acting with etiquette and manners to get the situation resolved. And some people that I've shared with this with, they're like, why aren't you screaming and yelling and doing this and doing that? Because in any situation, when you start losing control of your emotions, you're no longer able to think rationally about what is the solution. So in this situation where I don't have heat, obviously, this is not a pleasant way to live, but I continuously am looking for solutions. So after exhausting all the solutions, I contacted an attorney. After contacting the attorney, and that hasn't been working, I am now filing a complaint with the township. But in all of it, I am acting like a lady, and I am not letting my emotions get to me, because when that happens, we become out of control. And you've seen this in various situations. Maybe it's even in your own home, or your own office, your own relationship with somebody that you care about. One person starts screaming and yelling about something, and then you have an opportunity. Do you also start screaming and yelling? I've seen people jumping up and down and slamming their fists against something and just trying to out-talk the other person. This doesn't work. So when you think about creating a world of possibilities and transformation, what can each of us do to make this world a more peaceful place? How can we personally find that inner peace that is something we all desire? It doesn't matter how much money you have or how many tangible things you have or how many relationships you have. What is the level of peace that you have in your life? So that's what we're talking about on this show, and also on this platform, and also the work that I do in my coaching and writing books. So let's go back to the website, so that if you're out there watching now or in the future and you'd like to be a guest, or maybe you're somebody on our team and you're not really sure how it works, you come to usaglobaltv.com/book your session. Here are all the shows. You'll notice that some of them, as I started, have a fee. This is for the masterclass I'm teaching in London for a week. We also have a reunion show where you have 15 minutes to promote yourself. So typically, if it's something where you are getting the opportunity to sell your brand, your business, your event, your book, there will be a fee for it. If it's something where I'm teaching education, like the masterclass, there's obviously a fee for it. So we have the Wise Ones with Red O'Loughlin. We have the Perfect Podcast Show. Now, this is with Keith Saltoyanis. This is one of the shows that we have that is not open to the public. What does that mean? That means that Keith has his own guests. and he invites them to the show. And so that's not a show that people could book in on. We have the Resume Whisperer and Corporate Culturalist with Joseph Stetter. This show is on hiatus for about another month, I think. We also have the Corner Bookstore, which is with Red O'Loughlin now. We've had a number of people on there from publicists, which has been great. You can also sign up for coaching with me if you're looking to have business coaching, executive coaching. I'm certified coach, and I can definitely help you. Even if you're looking to take your interviewing skills to the next level, that's somewhere I'm an expert, as well as I've done over 5,000 interviews myself. And you can also sign up for free collaboration if you want to talk to me. I've got somebody later today who's doing that. If you're an author and you would like to be on Amazon Live, you can sign up for this and I will help you promote your book. So if you have books that are on Amazon, this is something that you definitely want to take advantage of, because you can also use this on your own website. And here's our show today, Creating a World of Possibilities. So you would just come here, click on book your session, and then you can see that you could book in for the 20th, the 22nd. Once you get here, you're just going to click here, and you see that the show's at 1:00 Eastern time. All of our shows, the listings are in Eastern Standard Time. So if you are in Pacific Coast time, that's going to be 3 hours earlier, Central Time, 1 hour earlier, and of course, London time is going to be 5 hours later, and Central European time 6 hours later, et cetera, et cetera. So you just come here and you book in, and then you'll see, here it is here. You look up at the top to make sure this is what you want. It's January 20th, 1:00. There's no fee. You fill in your information. And then this is really important. What are the 3 to 5 topics that you want to discuss? And I'm going to stop here and pause for a moment, because sometimes, it just happened the other day, someone will send in an entire paragraph of things they want to discuss. So we have a 40-minute show. It's not really feasible that we can dive in deep in 40 minutes with all these different topics. So think about, what are the 1 or 2 things that you would like to have as takeaways for people who are watching the show? Because the show is going to be out there in the public domain for as long as the platforms are up and running. So you want to make sure that you're targeting something that you feel will resonate with the audience. We do have a global audience. I just looked at the latest numbers, and on our one YouTube channel, we actually have 2. On our one, which is USA Global TV and Radio, our audience is primarily male, and the age groups are basically 25 to 55. So that's really changed a lot from last year. We had an older demographic. And on our other YouTube page, which is Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck, we have mostly females who are in their 40s and 50s. So the same show on 2 different YouTube channels with 2 totally different audiences. I think that's really fascinating. And of course, some of our shows are on E360 TV, Zizzle TV, as well as Amazon Fire. We were on Roku, and I made the decision from a leadership perspective to take us off of there. I actually canceled the channel a couple of days ago because the channel was hijacked twice and I had to pay to get it back. And then I had hired a number of people to upload the videos, because they're not actually live stream on Roku. You have to have somebody who's a developer upload them and then send them out. And so I had people take the money and they weren't doing it. And then I had to figure out how to do it. So this year we're not on Roku, but we are on Amazon Fire, Amazon Live, Zizzle, and Zizzle's on over 300 platforms, I believe. And then E360 TV, which I think is also on 100 plus, which include Apple, Samsung, and all of the rest. So that's what's going on there. Let me go back over to the website. So once you finish this, we'd like to know, how did you find out about us? We do have publishers, publicists who are sending people. We also have people who are coming through different television opportunities. People are contacting them saying, are you looking to be on a TV show? So we are a live streaming TV show platform, and our shows do end up later as podcasts on the podcast platforms. So tell us how you found us. We'd love to know that. And then please email your information. I always find it interesting that when we don't get any information, and I'm the one producing the show, I have to go and look for the person's backgrounds and I can't find them on LinkedIn. I don't know how you can be in business and not be on LinkedIn. So I really suggest to people to go over to LinkedIn and create an account for yourself so that you can network with other people. I personally have been able to conduct a lot of business on LinkedIn by reaching out to people, cold calling people to find out how I can bring value to them. So that might be something that'll work for you. But when you do register to be a guest, please do send in your information, because we want to be able to put your information into the broadcasting post that's going to be out there forever. If we don't have your information, then we just have to go with your name. And then unfortunately, if people are tuning in later, they're not going to have that contact information that really is worth its weight in gold. So that's how you would book in to be a guest on that show. And if you're interested in being a guest on one of our other shows, it's the same process. So the only thing that we request is, let me come back up here, is that you are professional, you're located in a professional environment. You'll notice that my background today is different than it was for most of the time that we've been here, which this is my real background. I had this made. I actually have another one across from me, and then the American flag. So I'm not using a green screen because I'm representing our brand with the brand right here next to me. In regards to that, a quick tip that I just want to give, I'm going to stop sharing for a moment, is I have people who want to use their own backgrounds, and I don't have as much of an issue with that. But if this is what I see, people will be standing in front of their logo. So if I'm standing in front of this, what is the value that the audience is getting? They can't see this. So if you're making up your own custom graphic that you're using on StreamYard or Zoom, please don't be standing in front of your logo. Please don't have words behind you. I've had some very successful people who make their own backgrounds, and I'm not going to mention any names. I'm really surprised that they're standing or sitting in front of their logo that no one can even see. They've got contact information. What good is it? It's no good. So if you want to be on our platform, please have your background as professional as possible so we can see your information. We're also happy to give you our background if you're coming onto a specific show. So for example, if you're on the corner bookstore and you'd like to use the background that we've made up, we're happy to give you that you can use it when you're on the show. Now, I mentioned in the beginning that you can be on up to 3 shows in the calendar year. If you are someone who has a lot of value that you are giving back to the audience, why not consider joining our team as an elevated listener? When you become an elevated listener, you can be on as many shows as you like because you've joined the team. So what does that look like? We're going to go back to the website and I'll show you this. And I'm hoping that you're finding some value in this because this is not something that we typically do. I'm going to show you how to become an elevated listener, but I'm just going to go through some of the other opportunities here. We've got the Hot Topic show, and you'll notice all the shows with me, I charge a fee. And why is that? Because my time is worth money. I have, as I mentioned, conducted over 5,000 interviews, and I consider myself, and I'm considered to be an expert in this field. So if you want to be with an expert, then that's what I charge. Not that our team members who are here are not experts, they are. But for me, I'm either producing the show or I could be doing public speaking, whatever the case is. So if I allocate my time to interviewing you, then I'm charging for that. Okay, so here's some other shows that I also host. And then we have the Film and Music Show with Dr. Madeline Chan. We've got the Amazon Live, which I mentioned. We've got a Woman's Prerogative, which is coming up today, actually. We have 2 Woman's Prerogatives on Mondays. They're both hosted by Caroline Heward. We have the Power of Etiquette and Manners with Mr. Philip Sykes. And we have Fashion, Travel, and Fitness. And that the hosts change on that. The BFit Project is in the archives. This show is not currently filming, but you can watch the other shows there. And we also have I Got a Course for You. And you can see Authentic Achievements with Kim Adele Randall, Dementia Home Care with Tracy Cram Perkins, the United Kingdom News and Culture with Diane Floyd Bain, Food and Our Emotions. That's a show that Red O'Loughlin and I were doing, Talking Peace Around the World with various experts. That changes as well. And then we had the Energy Show, which this is really for anyone who's an intuitive or someone who feels spirituality is really a guiding force in their life. Coexistence and sustainability. This one I have to put into the archives. Pet Psychic Amina was with me for 3 years and she just retired. So thank you, Pet Psychic Amina. She is truly amazing. We started off with talking about dogs and pets, and we moved to bringing people on and interviewing them. And then finally, we moved to even change the title of the show to Coexistence and Sustainability. And I truly learned a lot from her. So I will be archiving that. You won't be able to book in for that. The Majorca Connection with Roland Friedel, as well as It's Your Healthy Lifestyle with Roland Friedel. These are two fabulous shows. Roland's also been with me since the very beginning. Another show with Roland is the Planet Earth Show. And then here's the Business Talk Show with me. Spread Your Wings TV show with Jamie Long. And then we have Angela Lau, the Dream Weaver. And of course, our dear friend, Julia Mejia, the Holistic Alternative. And we have the Compassion Project with Dr. Daniel Lord, and Intentional Productivity Tips with Megan Sandwick. And our newest show is the Persistence Payoff Show. And this show, you must be invited by the host. That's Kimberly Schaefer. So unless she personally reaches out to you, then that is not something that you can register for. All right. So thank you for listening. We're going to go over to another page here, which is how you can actually join our team. And let me take you here to the Join Us. All right. If anybody has any questions, please let me know. I'm happy to answer them. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen again. All right. So now I'm on usaglobaltv.com, usaglobaltvandradio.com, drjacquelinekerbeck.com. They all take you here. And this is the Join Us. So here are the various opportunities that we offer. And if you're interested, please do reach out. So you can host one show. See if you like it. Is it something for you? We'll produce it, market, we provide search engine optimization, and we'll distribute it across our platforms that are the social media platforms. So that's a 30-minute show, and it's $199. If you already are a content creator and you'd like to have our platform, our audiences, our distributors' audiences have your show stream, then we can do that for you as well. You can send us the content, and then we can bookend either the intro and outro, or if you just want to run it without our intro and outro, we can do that as well. So that price varies, $179 to $259 a month. And if you're interested in having your own show every week, that's something that you can do. You can also do every other week. You can do once a month. We have people who are doing various things depending on what their availability is. So we really are interested in working with you and your schedule. So this also varies between $600 and $997 a month. You get a 40-minute show, you get a dedicated YouTube playlist, and you get training on elevated listening skills, which is what I was talking about, and the global audience. You can co-host a show with me. And this is $997 to $1,200. And you might say to yourself, well, why is it more money? Well, because I've done a lot of shows. So if you're going to be with me, I'm going to be showcasing you and making you the hero of the show so that you are always looking your best, sounding your best, and that people are interested in reaching out to you. We also have our expert presenters on Talking Heads. We currently have 4 expert presenters. That would be Red O'Laughlin, Dr. Madeline Chan, Caroline Heward, and Mariska Dupria. So they have all been with me since the very beginning, and they obviously find the value in being an expert presenter. So the difference is, if you are someone who is an expert in your field, you can have your own TV show where you're presenting information. So it's not a talk show, it's you presenting. So if I was going to do, which I have done Talking Heads, I present on elevated listening skills. I refer to my books, I refer to my courses, and then in each episode of the Talking Heads, I would have takeaways for people that they could actually implement into their life. I've taken a break from Talking Heads because I spend most of my time producing the shows and growing our platforms, but I will be coming back. And we do have a comment, which is very nice. Thank you, Sherry Bennett. The Holistic Alternative is my favorite. Absolutely. We love Julie. She's the best. And we have a follow-up, which is, there you go, a big heart. Oh, and guess what? Julianne is watching as well. Thank you so much, both of you. And thank you, Sherry, for reaching out to Julie. We're all about team building here. It's all about a community of people supporting one another. All right, so let's go back to where we were here. So you can have your own show either as a TV show host or as an expert presenter. And you can also be a panelist on A Woman's Prerogative. So Caroline Heward has taken over both episodes of the shows. I've asked her to step in for me because, again, I'm focused on supporting and building the business for my team members. So if I'm hosting all the TV shows, I can't really be doing that. In fact, this TV show that I'm hosting today is kind of unusual because I haven't been hosting as much as I used to. So I'm kind of enjoying it. But you would be with a group of women who are focused on providing world-class education, hope, and inspiration. You can also be a guest on the show without paying. And then if you find that you really like it, you can say, you know what, I want to be a full-time panelist. And you just have a conversation about whatever the topic is. You can also decide what the topic is. You can make some suggestions as well. We love that. Okay, so here's the elevated listener. And this is what I was saying too. If you're interested in being interviewed multiple times during the year, more than 3, then think about becoming an elevated listener. Becoming an elevated listener means that you would take a 2-hour course that's online. I also teach the courses in person, and obviously I'd love to come and teach the course somewhere where you live if there's other people who are interested in taking it. I just taught it in London, and I've taught it to master's students in Zambia. I taught it online. I've taught it at libraries. So again, it all corresponds with this book, Mastering the Power of Elevated Listening. I have a new one coming out, which is Mastering the Power of Elevated Listening in Relationships. That's coming out in June. So you would do these things, and then what are the benefits? The benefit is hopefully you're going to be watching role plays, and you're going to see people with dysfunctional behavior. And time again, people will say, that's me and my husband, that's me and my son. I just taught this course recently, and I had a very highly educated woman who just retired from her career. And she came in because she's having some difficulty with one of her children, a grown child. And she started explaining the situation to me. Her daughter is 40 years old. And I said, what do you feel the issue is that brought you in here today? And she said, well, she won't listen to what I have to say. And so asking questions, I got her to extrapolate a little bit about the situation. So basically, she is telling her daughter she's doing everything wrong. You're doing this wrong. You're doing that wrong. And she's wondering why her daughter isn't listening to her. So by the end of the session, she said to me, I can't believe how much I learned about my own behavior. And she said, I've been really putting my daughter on the defensive. It's no wonder she doesn't want to listen to me because I'm basically bullying her all the time. And it's kind of overwhelming because when somebody realizes this, they become emotional about it because they're thinking all this time that the other person is at fault and they didn't realize their own responsibility. So I always say to anyone who takes my courses, please don't go back home or go to your work or wherever and walk in and go, well, I'm an elevated listener. I know how to listen better than you do. You're doing all these things, because you're just going to put someone on the defensive that you're a know-it-all, that you have all the answers. And that's not what this is about. So going back to the website, when you become an elevated listener, you will be featured on our websites. We actually have 5 websites, and we have 3 that feature elevated listeners. The one features VIP elevated listeners, which are people who've taken it to the next level. And then this is, I think, the really fun part. You get to be featured in our books that are coming up. So each of the animal characters on the book cover represents someone who took my course. So I'll give you an example. Here we go. Okay, so we have Mariska Dupria. Okay. At the time, Mariska was in New Zealand. Now she's moved to Australia. But this is her character. And in the book, this character plays a role like all the other characters that are on this book cover. So if you have children and you're interested in having one of our future books, you create your own animal and then you name it, and then that animal's in the book. So these books are all dedicated to my great niece, Ella. and she's now 3. So it's kind of a fun journey just watching how she's grown up. So these books help children and their families learn how to listen. And there's also a takeaway story. This one is actually where Lady Ella goes to the School of Joy, and there's a talent show. And in the talent show, one of the animals does something that's really upsetting and upsets the other animals, and they all have to figure out how can they come together so they can do this talent show and everyone can be friends, at least listening to one another. So there's always a message. So you can be featured in our books. And then in addition to that, you get a certificate of achievement that you can use on your LinkedIn or your website. And I think you'll find that you actually will learn something. So if you're interested, you can go to our website, usaglobaltv.com, and you can actually take the quiz to test your listening skills. And then from there, you can buy the book, you can take the courses, and then you can join our team. So please feel free to think about that. And if you have any questions, let me know. Okay, I'm going to go back to the website, and I'm just going to share a couple of other things that you may not be aware of. We also have events. Like I mentioned, we have the reunion show coming up that I'm hosting with Red O'Loughlin. But if you have an event and you want us to live stream it for you, we've done a number of events for people. We charge $1.99 an hour for that. We also have advertising. So if you have a commercial that's already been created, or if you don't have a commercial and you want us to create it, we will do so, and then we'll run it on a number of our shows. So we've had some VIP sponsors over the last 3 years, and then we have people who just want the sponsorship to be shown on their show. You don't have to have a show with us. You can definitely advertise on our platform, and we'd be happy to talk to you about doing that. So we do video production, as I mentioned, and you can learn more here. So I'm going to stop sharing there. And then I'm just going to go and show you a couple of other things before we wrap up for today. We do have a global team of people who are incredible. And most of the people I had never actually met in person, which is interesting. And now I've met a number of people. I actually was over in London and met a number of our London team members, which was fun. And I'll be traveling to Texas to meet some of our team members there. And I've just had dinner with Justin Rigliani, who's got a show tonight. And that was great to see him as well. Okay, we're going to go back to the website. I see we have some comments, which I'll get to in a moment. All right, so here are the additional services that we provide. If you've been interviewed and you'd like an edited copy of your interview, we can do that. We have a team of people doing video editing. What does that mean? Maybe you don't want the intro, the outro, you don't want the commercials, you just want something specific, or you just want those things cut out. We can do that for you as well. And then, of course, here's the book that I just was mentioning. We also offer search engine optimization. Now, if you are a team member, we do provide search engine optimization already. But if you want more organic views, or if you're a guest, we only work with team members who are experts in search engine optimization where it is organic, meaning we are not paying for views. And the people that we work with, they have extensive experience in search engine optimization. They understand how the YouTube algorithm works. We do not use search engine optimization on any of the other platforms. It's strictly on YouTube. It gets to be quite expensive, believe it or not, because I have to pay per video. So at this point, we're offering that. But if you want more views, or if you're a guest and you want more views yourself, we can definitely do it for you. So you can either purchase 1 or up to 5. Now, this Podcaster Pro package, this is something that I offer, and I've had a number of people take it. If you'd like to really up your game, we all know how many people are out there doing podcasts, and some of them I look at, I'm like, wow, that's interesting. I have no judgment on it, but there's different levels of professionalism, of course. So this is a package you can consider that will help take you to the next level. We also have a course that is really, I think, very much needed. I mentioned earlier about not having heat, and this place where I live, they do not have a human who answers the phone. They have a robot. and the robot is really good. It's very difficult to get past the robot and speak to a human. So I think we have some work to do in terms of how do we incorporate artificial intelligence and at the same time still have the humanism that we need. Okay, and then here's the course that I was mentioning, Mastering the Art of Deep Listening, the Power of Listening. That's right there, so you can sign up for that. And then we also have this course where you get to hear from other global broadcasters who have extensive experience and what they recommend that you do. This is online, as is the other one. And then how to feel more confident in your interview skills. So I can help you in any of those places. Well, I thank you for watching. I thank you for listening. I will put up the rest of the comments now. Let's see, Julianne, thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And thank you, Julianne. She writes, for everyone considering this network and team is incredible. I can't recommend them enough. The coursework is incredible. Highly recommend checking them out. So sweet. Thank you. If anyone is interested in becoming a team member, I'm happy to discuss my beautiful experience. Oh, bless you. I love that. Thank you very much. All right. So I hope that this brought value to you. I hope you will sign up to be a guest on our show, or that you will actually consider joining our team as we stand for world-class education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. We're going to sign off now, and our next show is coming up. It's A Woman's Prerogative, and I will be producing that for Caroline and Reverend Lydia. So let's take a look at a couple of things that I've put together, a little bit more about listening, and then we'll be back with our next show. Bye for now.
In a world full of noise, misunderstandings, and interruptions, master the art of listening with Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck is the listening mentor of USA Global TV and Radio and the Amazon #1 best-selling author of Mastering the Power of Elevated Listening. Elevate your listening. Elevate your life. Join a global learning experience in person or via Zoom. Reserve your spot today. usaglobaltv.com/book-your-session or drjacqueline.thinkific.com. Join Dr. Kerbeck's listening courses or hire her to unlock deeper connections and authentic conversations. Have you ever felt unheard? Like your words float into a void, leaving you invisible and disconnected? How about feeling judged, when assumptions overshadow your truth, leaving you misunderstood and defensive? And then there's that moment when someone offers solutions you never asked for, dismissing your feelings and leaving you more frustrated than before. It doesn't have to be this way. Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck, the listening mentor, understands. She's here to help you reclaim your voice, build stronger connections, and create meaningful conversations that inspire understanding and mutual respect. Through her groundbreaking books, online and in-person courses, and interactive workshops, you'll learn how to navigate life's most challenging interactions. Discover the power of elevated listening and transform how you communicate. Master setting boundaries and asking permission to protect your peace. Learn to recognize and release judgment, fostering empathy and true connection. Dr. Kerbeck also offers personalized coaching, one-on-one or group sessions designed to fit your unique needs. Whether in person or virtually on StreamYard, her guidance will empower you to thrive. You don't have to struggle alone. The path to deeper connections and better relationships start here. Visit drjacqueline.com or usaglobaltv.com. Join a global community of empowered listeners and transform your life, one meaningful conversation at a time. Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck is the listening mentor. Start your journey today.